Where are you right now? And what stands in the way of your financial destiny? What's the destination? What keeps you going every day? Some of you, it feels like it's a lifetime away. Success and consistent trading, the ability to support yourself and your family by means of speculation. And for others, it's for the folks that just started, you think you're going to do it next month. There's going to be a lot of barriers. Lots of barriers that you didn't foresee coming in, and new developing barriers. But a barrier is not a definitive end. It's a problem. And as a speculator, a trader, you have to be a good problem solver. If you don't have problem solving skills, you're going to struggle. For me, when I was coming up as a developing trader, in 1992, I was residing with a family member. And when I lived with them, I inherited a lot of bad habits initially, and it caused depression. And some of those bad habits were fear, procrastination, and a underlying sense of not deserving it. So my upbringing was very modest, and we didn't have a whole lot of much really, but we didn't miss it either because we were never exposed to having a lot. I developed a very strong work ethic. I never missed a day of work, and I wanted to focus on getting out of the rat race. Now, most of you that know me know that I got started as a commodity trader by way of Ken Roberts' course, which really isn't a course. It's you pay to put yourself on a mailing list, let's put it that way. But I'm happy that I got started, because if I would have never gotten started, Lord knows where I'd be at today. Probably very miserable, very unhappy, to say the least. But I worked a lot of hours at my job, and every waking moment that I had an opportunity to read about the marketplace, listen to some commentary about the markets, I was constantly digesting it. I was a sponge that never was filled. It was always an appetite for me to want to learn more, and I've always maintained that, I guess, approach about it. And while I really don't learn anything new from other people or other methods or anything like that, I learn a lot about myself in the engagement of the day-by-day relationships to price action, and I learn a lot about human psychology, which I guess in a way has a lot to do with trading, but not in the sense that if we sat down in the same room together and we were talking about the markets, I would gravitate to human psychology a lot. And if you were new, you would want to start talking about entry points and how to get this or how to get that in terms of profits. And that is going to be a problem and a barrier for you. So what I had to do was submit to a lot of time. My approach to doing all this was very structured in the beginning because I already knew it was going to be hard for me. I had no misconceptions or fantasies about how it was going to be easy for me to do it. But at 20 years old, I was thinking to myself that I wanted to be retired at the age of 40. And to my family, that sounded ludicrous. It was unachievable. You couldn't get it. You couldn't obtain that. So submit to the working grind like everyone else does. And that created a sense of anxiety in me to the degree where I was not going to relent until I got myself to the position where I wasn't going to have to work for money. Because I felt working for money was a stupid waste of my time, it was a waste of my energy, and there was a lot better things to be doing than to go to work for someone else. They're never going to appreciate you, not to the degree they should, or that you would want them to. So basically, to have a job or go out into the workforce is rather stupid. So now I know some people are going to scoff at that and say, well, everyone needs to work. They have to have a job. They have to have the ends meet, if you will. And I agree. But that's not a destination. Now, unfortunately, most people create that as their final destination because of procrastination, fear of failure, failure to observe the realities of having the resources, whether you accept the fact that you do or don't. Everyone has the resources. There's absolutely zero excuses why within 10 years anyone can retire. Now, I'm not saying that you are going to retire a multi-millionaire, but you could certainly find a way to replace your current income. Now, if you could do that, think about it. Isn't that really the definition of being rich? Now, I'm not saying super wealthy in elite status, but to be rich is you're not working for money anymore. So if you find a way to replace your current income, even if it never goes up, if you just made ends meet, that's rich. Now, some of you would disagree with that because your definition of rich or wealthy or affluent is going to vary from mine. But I'm telling you from a storyline, this is how I came up from this. I came from a very, very modest upbringing, very modest start. So it was a 20-year plan for me. Now, for most of you, you won't subscribe to that. 20 years is too long. Sorry, let me go to the next video. Let me go to another YouTube mentor. Let me see who's selling the system. Okay, give me a process of give me in 1, 2, 3, give me the profits and wash, rinse, repeat. Okay. So I was already building in a far and wide definition of success, and I gave it a long-term deadline. Now, if you're living with your folks, or if you're living with family members, or if you're living with a person that you don't really want to be with, but because of necessity you have to be there, that is many times a very toxic environment. And when I began trading, I kept it quiet. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing because I already knew what the answer was going to be. That's stupid. You're going to lose your money. And truth be told, I did. I lost money the first time I traded. And it was a very good thing. It was very good for me to have that happen to me. Because number one, it created a sober respect for the fact that A, you can lose money. It's real. Okay. But also, I knew someone profited off of me. Now, right away, you know what it feels like when you lose money. You're already cussing at the computer screen or cussing at your spouse like they had something to do with it. Because you personify the loss and you make it an attack on you. The only way you're going to do that is if you have a action plan that's written out, well defined, with a specific destination and a deadline for that destination. Because basically what we're doing is we're trying to make a business plan for our dream. My dream at 20 was I wanted to be retired at 40. I wanted to be a millionaire. $1 million, not 50 million, not 80 million. I wanted to have $1 million after taxes when I was in my 40s. The problem I had was, how do I get there? Because my first trade was a losing position on an orange juice option, trading commodities. I lost half of what I put up the very first trade in one day. And that motivated me more than anything ever in trading, because I knew someone else made more than I earned in a month in one day on my stupidity. Now, I didn't victimize myself. I didn't beat myself up. I said, this is exactly what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Now, how many of you listening to my voice right now would have had that same thought process? Most of you would have been like, hell no, I'm out of here. I want to take whatever I got left and call it quits. And I'll just be thankful I didn't get all my money taken. And that's normal. But I'm not normal.